Ainda não tá full screen. Deixa eu colocar full screen. Pronto. É um jogo de terror e não é indicado para todos os públicos. Visite nosso site. Se precisar de uma lista específica de avisos do conteúdo. Ceifar a princesa contém efeitos de imagem tremulante, assim como um efeito de parallax que, em raras ocasiões, pode causar enjoo ou tontura nos jogadores. Se tiver algum problema com esses efeitos, é possível desativá-los nas preferências do jogo. Eu não tenho problema com isso. O problema é com lugares em jogo. Mano, o que me deixa enjoada em jogo, ou tonta, é aquele treco lá que eu sempre falo e eu esqueço o que que é. Que é o virar a tela, que fica a tela meio embaçada quando você vira. Muito ruim aquilo, credo, meu Deus. Se eu ficar virando, tipo, se eu girar muito a tela, eu começo a ficar enjoada. E outro negócio que me deixa assim é aqueles jogos quando tem, tipo, sei lá, vários corredores ou é um labirinto que seja, que é muito estreito e muito escuro. Que eu não sei pra onde eu tô indo direito porque é tão escuro que é. Aí isso começa a me deixar enjoada, velho. Sério. Horrível. Esses trecos me deixam enjoada. Seja lá quais forem os horrores que encontrar nesses locais escuros, tenha coragem e vá até o fim. Não há finais prematuros, não há decisões erradas, há apenas perspectivas diferentes e novos começos. Esta é uma história de amor. História de amor? Ok, interessante. Hey, Happy, bom dia. Tem esse problema com o Guia 5? Mano, o que eu tive muito isso foi em algumas BGzinhas do Valheim. E eu tive isso no Devor. Nossa, Devor principalmente. Meu Deus do céu, velho. Tem um mapa em específico da casa. Acho que é o primeiro mapa. Que é, você só fica dentro da casa e é tudo escuro e os negócios é tudo estreito. Mano, aquilo me deixou passando mal, velho. Foi horrível. Ei, Zip. The Forest foi um jogo que quase me quebrou. Eu passei mal real jogando, quase vomitei jogando, caramba. Uma vez vi vidor de games dando dica pra quando for construir o game a câmera tem que abaixar levemente fazendo um arco, em vez de virar reto, porque fica desconfortável mesmo. Caramba! Ó, a gente não teria visto isso, tá? A gente fica enrolando e às vezes enrolar é bom. O herói e a princesa. Capítulo 1. Ok. Aham. Ah, safe, né? É só matar a princesa, então. Atrás. O fim do mundo? O que está falando? Você já parou para pensar que o único motivo que ela tem para destruir o mundo é porque ela foi trancada? Faz sentido. Assassinar uma princesa parece meio errado, não acha? Outra pessoa não poderia fazer isso? Pode esquecer. Não. Caramba, tem muita resposta. Pode esquecer, não farei isso. Você já parou para pensar que talvez eu não tenha problemas com o fim do mundo? Eu vou ganhar alguma recompensa por isso? Mano, isso aqui é muito RPG, tá? Tudo bem, então obrigado por me dizer o que fazer. Demais, eu sempre quis acabar com a monarquia. Viva la revolução! Prossegui silenciosamente até a cabana. Dá meia volta e ir embora, tá? Hum. Eu não tenho muitas opiniões, então eu vou só seguir silenciosamente. Tá sem som? Calma aí.
You'll find the princess within.
Desculpa, gente.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Prosseguir.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Vou pegar, né?
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Entrar.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oi, eu quero ver como você está. Oi, acho que estou aqui para te matar. Continuar descendo a escada. Continuar descendo a escada.
You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
O quê? Não, de jeito nenhum. Por que você pensaria isso? Ah, pois é, sim. Você me pegou. Estou aqui para te ceifar. Não. Eu ainda não decidi. Eu só estou aqui para conversar. Eu ainda não decidi.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Você fala desse jeito, amiga, aí que eu não largo a faca mesmo.
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Segurar com mais força.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Não fui com a cara dessa princesa? Eu acho que eu vou muito matar ela. Eu não tô gostando dela, não. Gente, deixa eu ver se... Eu vou descer um pouco a tela aqui, pra vocês poderem ficar mais de boa. Espera que não é aqui, não. É aqui. Deixar aqui assim, ó. Depois eu volto.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
Mano, que mulher abusada, velho. Eu pensei que, sei lá, ela ia real tentar manipular, mas ela é muito sarcástica, né, velho? Nossa, que irritante.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
E se ela não estiver blefando e se ela nos matar? É, isso aí é um ponto bom, tá? Você tem certeza que ela não está armada? Sinto muito, não podemos só conversar. Eu não vou soltar o punhal. Mano. Mano, tipo, a opção de não ceifar a princesa por enquanto não está em dia. Mas o fato dela poder nos matar é um fato, né, velho? Eu não sei, ué. Tipo assim, ela tá presa com um lado, mas e o outro, tá ligado? Será que o outro também não tava ali? E, tipo, tá atrás dela? Porque assim, não tô entendendo, sabe? Só se eles estavam muito meio e eles prenderam só um lado mesmo, porque... Eu vou perguntar pro narrador. Se ela estiver blefando.
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Mano, eu vou na opção de... Eu quero ver o que acontece. Será que a gente morre? Eu tô curiosa. Vou ceifar a princesa.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Caramba, forte, né?
I shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
Credo.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
F. Ué, vai pro capítulo 2, eu pensava que reiniciava.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Ah, tá, meio que
And in the
reinicia
basement
assim.
of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will
Eu
be
acho
the
que
end
só
of the
chegar e
world.
tentar matar ela também dá errado. Eu acho que tem que real conversar com ela. Já que o jogo é uma história de amor, meio que tem que enganar. A gente que tem que enganar ela. Mas eu vou tentar fazer o que vai diretão agora. Eu vou tentar ir diretão dessa vez.
A warning.
Depois
before
eu
you go any
converso.
further. She will lie. We might.
Essa
Can we
que a gente
tell
já
her not being
ouviu.
peasant? You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but If he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not
Caramba.
make this harder than it has to be.
Calma aí, narrador.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Nessa aqui eu vou só diretão. Vou deixar pra conversar depois só.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Vou pegar. Tem a opção de aproximar do espelho. É esse aqui? Depois eu posso pegar? Eu vou pra aproximar, que eu fiquei curiosa.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Limpar o espelho.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Caramba, oxi! Então, o vampiro não tem reflexo. Vou pegar o punhal e ir diretão dessa vez.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Aí começou. Entrar.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually... It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Sério, essa
You
princesa é
weren't
muito
kidding
boa.
when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continua descendo.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over,
Caramba,
almost
tá
glowing in the
bonitona,
weak
véi.
starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Mano, eu vou tentar. Dessa vez eu vou tentar fazer diretão. Eu quero ver o que
As if on
acontece.
command,
Depois eu
the blade
converso.
slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Eu soltei? Não, eu segurei com força, ué. Ah, então tá bom.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just gonna let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Mano, eu vou seguir a dela. Eu já larguei o
On her
negócio
command,
mesmo.
you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
Ué, largou o negócio, pô. Não era pra largar. Era pra ir diretão.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
Vou enganar essa mulher.
Speak.
The last time we met. Nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I'd trust to deal with her. Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now. He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Não direi nada. Você vai acabar com o mundo. Eu ficarei em silêncio. Ficar em silêncio.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open?
Que isso, cara?
Your skull can save your thoughts from being seen.
Can she do that? There's nothing she can't do.
Meekness, despair, but a hint of something more. A small taste of stubborn resistance. A grain in the storm of my cosmic wind. Enough to be felt, but not enough to matter. And there it is. I am destined to end the world. Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
Quer que eu faça o que tem em mente? Só porque o seu propósito é destruir o mundo não quer dizer que eu deveria fazê-lo. Você pode ser o que quiser. Tenho perguntas a fazer antes de tomar qualquer decisão. O que aconteceu com você depois que eu morri? Eu não vou te ajudar a destruir o mundo. Pouco me importa se algo novo virá depois. Não vou deixar você fazer isso. Estou sob seu comando. Porra, lealdade a ela. Meu Deus do céu. Pior que parece que a maioria das respostas que eu fiz ela é do tipo assim, então morre, então. Até essa aqui de fazer perguntas, véi, é a que eu mais estaria inclinada a responder. Vou nessa, vai.
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Perguntar o que ela quer que eu faça.
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Simples, né, amiga? Se é tão poderosa porque você mesma não quebra as correntes. É muito algo que eu falaria. Só porque seu propósito é destruir o mundo não quer dizer... Tá. Se é tão poderosa porque você mesma não quebra as correntes.
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world.
Esse é um fato.
That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do.
Ai, amiga, então fica aí, espera, e eu fico aqui e espero também.
The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now. Submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Só porque você não quer dizer que deveria fazê-lo. Você pode ser o que quiser. Vou mandar essa aqui.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Eu não vou te ajudar a destruir o mundo. Pouco me importa se algo novo virá depois. Não vou deixar você fazer isso. Não vou deixar, não.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
Eu não vou pegar, não.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Ah, entendi. É obrigada a pegar. Droga.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. You
Levantar.
can feel a creaking
Ela vai
tension
fazer a
between
gente se
body
matar,
and
que
will
ódio.
as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet, Shadow. Well, take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
É.
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Não tem
No,
opção.
you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is ignore her and do what has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do literally anything else.
Look at you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god. It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion. But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about?
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Eita. F narrador.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
Não vou não, fia.
We will. I promise.
I know you will.
Vamos morrer 1001 vezes e não vamos libertar essa safada.
Everything
Só
goes
se ela
down.
parar de ser arrogante.
You die.
Aí quem sabe.
You're on a
Capítulo
path in the
3.
woods, and at the end of that path... Oh, let me guess. At the end of the path is a cabin! Excuse me? Come on, man. We can see it right in front of us. And besides, we've been here like, what, 5 times already?
5 vezes é demais. Calma aí, pô.
I think this is 3. Who cares? The woods are always the worst part anyway. Nothing ever happens in them.
É.
I care. Every single time you've been here, it means an entire other reality has been damned to oblivion. One reality is already an incalculable loss. And there is a massive difference between 3 and 5. Feels like the numbers getting thrown around here are too big not to be abstract. Numbers like 5. Numbers like entire realities. At the end of the day, it's all just silly, isn't it? None of us can count to a whole reality, and he's asking us to think about the difference between 3 and 5. You're already starting to lose the thread. Just because you can't personally sum up the contents of an entire reality doesn't mean that the people inhabiting it don't contain moral value. If you have any sense of ethics left in there, if you have any moral compass, please, you have to stop her. Don't you get it? Might makes right, and she didn't even have to touch us last time to prove her power. So what? Just because she made us kill ourselves, we're supposed to submit to her authority without question? I knew when to surrender to our better. You would have lost eventually anyway, and it would only have made her angry. It would only have made things worse for all of us. Oh, for the love of... Can you all please just get on with it? You're not making this any easier for yourselves. Do we even have agency right now? We either do what she wants, or we do what he wants. Either way, we're listening to somebody. Please, nothing in life is a binary. Obviously, we find a third choice that nobody wants. You all talk about choices and freedom, but there is no choice when it comes to the will of a god.
Mimimi.
I'm going to cut you off right there. She is not a god, and the more times you fail, the harder it becomes for you to succeed. But the fact that you're still here means you still have a chance to pull this off. So, princess, dangerous, cabin, slay, now.
Eu não vou até a cabana até obter a resposta que eu sou. Fugir. Permanecer no mesmo lugar. Ah, mas por que eu vou ficar aqui, pô? Vou seguir até a cabana.
But a great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin.
Mas eu já escolhi,
Even the
então
earth beneath you
vambora.
seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. The moment we open that door, she will be free.
Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know.
A gente é muito fragmentado, né? Prosseguir.
As you step forward, the cabin explodes.
Oxi.
Flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you.
Caramba, ok. Caramba.
You watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world bows to her. The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is...
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never.
Ei, Gracinha, você não falou sobre uma terceira opção antes? Uma que deixaria todos descontentes? Vou nesse aqui.
Well, we could always run away, right? To where? I don't know. Anywhere.
You're all ruining the moment of her ascension. Have you no respect for the divine?
Fugir, venerar. Ou pegar o punhal. Ô, Meg! Ele nem falou gracinha, não deixaram. As outras vozes aí. Pegar o punhal que vou pegar o punhal, quem sabe ela mata a gente logo.
With a grim determination, you yank the blade from the trunk. Yeah, this feels right. She doesn't get to just smugly stand over us like we don't matter. Let's take her down a peg.
You're not going to win. You know that, right? What are you going to do with that tiny blade? Give her a scrap.
Pega o seu negócio.
Aham. Volti. Thank you. Peraí. Ah, I see. Ok, White, vai lá, vai lá. Zip. Calma aí. Ai, meu Deus.
Aqui, ó. Ele vem. Você se notar comigo. E aqui é o lugar. Eu passei aqui. Não, eu não vou precisar coisa, não, Rocinha. Rocinha, não vou mexer com isso. Tá dando certo. Você tá doido jogando?
Ai, o meu tio falando vai ser um saco, velho. Muita coisa pra ouvir.
Nós ganhamos
Princesa maluca.
nós mesmo não, ainda não tem parar. Tá quase dando a hora que era muito. Bom,
Então vamos lá, né?
Even if that's all we manage, I'd rather go down swinging. See how everything's floating around her? I bet we could make it if we just jumped really hard. You gather yourself, closing your eyes and shutting out the towering vision of the princess. There is only her and you. That's all there ever was. It's time to face her.
Mergulhar no esquecimento.
You launch yourself towards the princess. The pull of her gravity catches you, carrying you across the ground into the violent swirl of her orbit.
Such defiance even now. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end that which is destined to end everything.
Don't you see how hopeless this is? She fears nothing.
That's right, she doesn't. So she has no idea what she's in for. With a heavy thump, you land on her chest. It's now or never. We've come this far. Let's take it home.
Apanhar lá, ó.
You strike, but her skin is like steel. When you stab
Caramba!
her again and again, the wounds are superficial, mere etchings on
Inseto,
a
velho.
sprawling surface.
You see? It was always pointless. All this has done is bring us close to her. And how beautiful it is to be so close.
It's not pointless, it can't be. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't some hope we could succeed.
Is that all?
The princess plucks you from her chest, pinching the scruff of your neck delicately between two fingers as she brings you to eye level.
I forgive you your transgressions, but my destiny is inescapable.
She thinks she's so much better than us. There has to be something else we can do. We're not going out like this.
He offered us forgiveness. You would turn down such an incredible gift. You would turn away from her glory for something as petty as pride.
Lançar o punhal no olho dela.
Yes, yes, let's give her something to remember us by. You concentrate your will to a fine point and hurl your blade at the princess's eye. It flies through the night sky and then nothing. She could never be harmed by...
Eita.
It pierces her cornea. She howls, recoiling in pain, and you fall from her distracted hand. You hit the ground with a painful thud. She narrowly misses you as she comes crashing down to her knees.
So I've misread you. You are not the willful key that will turn the lock of my liberation. You are an enemy to be smitten by my hand.
Eita.
The princess holds up her monumental hand, its glowing palm radiating a blinding light. It grows and grows until it's all you can see. And then you erupt, your very soul mere kindling to her light. The inferno incinerates everything that is you. And with it... No, that's not right. Why is it hot? I'm not supposed to be able to feel anything. Oh no. Oh no.
You leave me no other choice. Suffer for the crime you have committed against my divine body. Damnation will purify.
Não resta mais nada a queimar, contudo você insiste em medo ao pandemônio.
It's cold now, and I feel small. I thought I was everything. But I'm no better than you, am I?
Eita. Você não teve chance de responder, nem terá. Algo a levou embora e deixou outra coisa no lugar. Aproxime-se do espelho. Você tem seu meio silêncio, as chamas incinerarão todas as vozes. Observe-se no reflexo. O silêncio toma conta ao avançar. Eles se foram, mas o espelho permanece. Chegou a hora de ver o que há nele. É você. Caramba, eu sou... Você está sozinho num lugar vazio. Está em silêncio. Prossegui até a cabana. Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Mudou a voz, é? O que é você? Um aspecto frágil? Este é o fim do mundo? Deixa sair daí. Você conhece o narrador? Foi você que me enviou para ceifar a princesa? Foi você que me prendeu aqui? Hã? Tá, fiquei confusa. Você é a princesa? Nós não conhecemos? O que vai acontecer agora? Atacar a entidade e destruir seu corpo. O que é você?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Luzes solitárias, como assim? O que você acha que eu sou? Não sei o que eu sou uma pessoa. O que você acha que eu sou?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Nós nos conhecemos?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Você conhece o narrador?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Aspecto frágil?
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one sits at the cusp of awakening. A new god waiting to be born. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she has finally found her light.
Eu vou mandar esse aqui porque eu não entendi. Foi você que me enviou para ceifar a cinza? Foi você que me prendeu aqui?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Deixa eu ver. Você sabe sobre os mundos além deste lugar?
I know only that they are.
Henrique, bom dia. Sei não tô caindo nesse papo não, véi. Tá muito estranho. Você é a princesa?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Entendi. Mas você sempre foi a princesa ou fez ela virar uma parte sua agora?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Este é o fim do mundo?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
O que vai acontecer agora?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Não tem medo que eu encontre um jeito de matá-la? O que vou esquecer? Quantos pedaços seus ainda preciso encontrar? E se eu não deixar... Eu perguntei isso aqui, fiquei curiosa.
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Fui enviado para salvar a princesa e impedi-la de destruir o mundo. Se eu ajudá-la, é isso que você vai fazer? Certo, faça-me esquecer. Aí eu começo meio que de novo? O que vou esquecer?
Everything. Until we meet again.
E se eu não deixar que faça isso comigo?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished. Dry. Hollow.
Vou mandar esse aqui do... Fui enviado para salvar a princesa e impedi-la de destruir o mundo. Se eu ajudá-la, é isso que você vai fazer?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Então vai aí, né? Isso é uma forma indireta de dizer que vai. Você está se prendendo a significados. O que vai fazer se eu ajudá-la?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Não tem medo que eu encontre um jeito de matá-la?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
Não vou voltar, esperar.
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Esperar para sempre.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage?
Deve estar brisando, mulher.
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Hello? Hello? Fechou o jogo. Pô, mulher, você me quebra, pô. Sabia que tava brisando demais. Pela da mãe.
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Ah. Voltou aqui já. Certo, faça-me esquecer.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Caramba, que bruta, né?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Dessa vez eu vou só conversar com ela pra ver.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end.
Observação. Para ignorar diálogos já vistos, pressione Tab no teclado. Tá. Deixa eu parar pra pensar. Tá. Eu vou ir silenciosamente. Vou entrar no porão.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Caramba, a voz ficou até diferente. Não tá vendo que eu não tô com punhal, né? Folgada.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Será que ela sempre faz a gente esquecer? E a gente nunca se lembra? Mandação
Don't
oi.
be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Vamos começar um pouco primeiro.
Okay.
Ficou puta. Tá. Qual o seu nome? Eu não sei nada sobre você, até onde eu sei, você está presa aqui por um motivo. Se eu sou a primeira pessoa que você vê faz um tempo, o que você tem comido ou bebido? Eu fui enviado pra cá pra ceifar você, aparentemente. Você vai acabar com o mundo. O que você vai fazer se sair daqui? Vou te manter presa aqui embaixo, pelo menos por um tempinho. Podemos nos conhecer melhor até eu decidir o que fazer. Sinto muito... Pera, o quê? Sinto muito, mas não posso simplesmente confiar em você. Isso não faz sentido. E não vale o risco de acreditar na sua palavra se o destino do mundo pode estar ameaçado. Pegar o punhal, tá. Voltar pra cima pra pegar o punhal sem falar mais nada. Eu não acredito que trancaram você aqui embaixo assim. Vou te tirar daqui. Tá. Certo, vou te tirar daqui, não faça eu me arrepender disso. Qual o seu nome?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Então seu nome é Princesa? nem sabe o nome dela, né?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Que você tem comido ou bebido?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Vou mandar essa aqui. Eu não sei nada sobre você. Até onde eu sei, você está presa aqui por um motivo.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Aí está se fazendo, né, fia?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
O que você vai fazer se sair daqui?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
Eu acho que ela sabe, né?
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Vou mandar essa aqui. Já que você não sabe, né? Não sabe, entre muitas aspas. Eu fui enviada aqui pra cá pra ceifar você. Aparentemente você vai acabar com o mundo. Mas eu não acredito que você seja perigosa de verdade, tá? Mas eu queria ver você com meus próprios olhos. Ainda não sei no que acreditar. Estou começando a achar que é verdade. Sinto que tem algo a seu respeito que não está certo. Vou mandar um... Acho que você não é perigosa de verdade. Não, você... Ai, eu acho sim, velho. Não tem uma resposta que eu realmente falo. Tipo, tinha que ter mais uma aqui. Vou mandar essa aqui, só pra ver o que ela vai falar. Mas eu não acredito que você seja perigosa de verdade.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Eu já ouvi o suficiente, esperava que você pudesse me dizer. Não, mas tenho certeza de que eles têm motivos para manter isso em segredo. Não. E é por isso que não acredito que você seja perigoso de verdade. Esperava que você pudesse me dizer.
I don't know how to destroy the world, if that's what you're getting at.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
Ah, só
At
pode
the end
saber
of the day,
sim.
whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Não vou matar você, mas posso simplesmente te libertar. É arriscado demais. Mas não posso simplesmente te libertar. É arriscado demais. E se eu ficar e te fizer companhia por um tempinho, talvez assim todo mundo fique feliz. Bela proposta, né, amigo? Vou te manter presa aqui embaixo, pelo menos por um tempinho. Podemos nos conhecer melhor até eu decidir o que fazer. Sinto muito, mas não posso simplesmente confiar em você. Isso não faz sentido e não vale o risco de acreditar na sua palavra se o destino do mundo pode... Tá, esse aqui a gente tudo já tinha visto, né? Vou mandar essa aqui. Eu vou ficar um tempinho com ela, mas não vou matar nem soltar.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help.
Caramba, ficou arrogante, fia.
But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Recuperar o punhal, certo, vamos te tirar daqui. Trancá-la no porão. Trancá-la.
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
Não, nós vamos seguir o plano e mantê-la presa. Seguir o
It'll be
plano.
the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out?
Eita.
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Pode me ameaçar o quanto quiser, a única coisa que isso faz é aliviar minha consciência culpada. Então tudo isso não passou de atuação, não é mesmo? Você não é de fato inocente ou inofensiva. Você nem sequer é uma princesa, você é um monstro. Caramba! Ignorá-la.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
Meu Deus
She
do
steps
céu.
closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
O pesadelo.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement, you're here to slay her. If you
Isso não estava
don't,
funcionando.
it will be the end of the world.
Terrível sensação de déjà vu. Mas eu morri, o que estou fazendo aqui?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, You're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us? That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade, a situação atual já tenha acontecido. Por que eu daria ouvidos a você? Por que eu daria trabalho de agir?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess? Or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making a rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made it. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
Vamos conversar sobre a
Just be quick
princesa.
about it.
No final, só de estar perto dela, todos os meus órgãos pararam de funcionar. O que é que eu posso fazer quanto a isso? Como você disse da última vez, ela é só uma princesa. Como é que você pode dizer uma coisa dessas? Ela claramente é algo muito, muito pior. Quem a trocou no porão? O que é esse lugar?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
No final, só pode estar perto dela, todos os meus órgãos pararam de funcionar. O que é que eu posso fazer sobre quanto a isso, hein?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job and save the world.
É algo muito, muito pior.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin and you'll be fine.
Se pessoas conseguiram trancá-la, por que não a ceifaram? Por que a tarefa sobrou pra mim?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us? I don't know, I kinda like being special. Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here. I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous. All I'm trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is.
Ah, sim, narrador. Eu não acho que narração funciona assim, te mandando fazer as coisas, não. Você mesmo disse, né?
And for what it's worth, I know you have it in you to finish the job. We don't. You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave.
Eu acho que você só fala os fatos, né? Você está omitindo informações. O que está escondendo de mim?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail will just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him. Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. Do you see the way he keeps pushing us? We have to get out of here.
Já disse tudo.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is
Não
waiting with
acredito nem no
bated breath
narrador
for
e nem na
you to save
princesa.
it from ruin.
E as vozinhas da minha mente me irritam. E até acabando. Dá muita curiosidade de ir na opção ir
Before you go
embora.
any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she
Ah,
I
você já
think
falou isso.
lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
É, não tô confiando em ninguém mesmo não.
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Você não falou nada sobre o espelho na parede.
You're right. I was so stuck on the eyes watching us that I didn't even notice it there. What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the floor, and the open doorway leading to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Ok, que estranho.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. We have to look at it. Unless that's what he wants us to do. And pretending it isn't there is a trick to get us to do exactly what he wants.
Por que você mentiria sobre não haver um espelho quando ele claramente está bem ali? O que tem a ganhar? Quero ver meu reflexo. Quero ver o quão bonito eu sou. É bonitão, pô. Aproximar-se do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Limpar o espelho.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
Que estranho. Acabando está diferente como eu me lembro.
Very different. He changed it, didn't he? It's like he's trying to make us doubt our reality.
Também tô curiosa.
Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died, you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Entrar no porão.
Oh, we should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is going to do us any favours. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
Eu vou conversar com ela. Não precisamos de um plano, eu vou matá-la. O seu narrador acha que eu consigo. Não sei por que vocês estão sendo tão pessimistas. Continua descendo.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Aqui tem mó olhinho aqui, ó. Vou na direita onde tá o olhinho. Será que é ela? Ou não é nada? Acho que não é nada, não. Ah, mas vou na direita.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
Caramba.
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Liver, nerves. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Nerves.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Liver. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option right now. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you?
Que você não me matou. De que sirvo pra você vivo? O que quer de mim? O que aconteceu depois que você me matou da última vez? Fui enviado pra impedir a destruir o mundo. Não posso deixar você partir. Você é louca. Você sabe disso, certo? Se quiser que trabalhemos juntos, pode pelo menos parar de desligar os meus órgãos. Que tal, ao invés disso, eu simplesmente matar você? Não precisamos ser inimigos. Podemos trabalhar juntos. Podemos até ser amigos. Não farei nada disso. Não vou ajudá-la a escapar. Nem tentarei matá-la. Então faça o seu pior. Certo, vamos embora daqui. Partir juntos. Tudo bem. Você venceu. Vou deixá-la sair. Partir juntos. Eu vou nessa aqui, eu tô curiosa. Certo, vamos embora daqui.
What? No!
You come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving, and, do you think you can just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us die here just make it end faster? Shit. Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
Mano, eu tô começando a gostar dessa vozinha, velho. Paranoico.
Of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Come along now. You don't want to be stuck down here.
Liver. The princess glides onto the stairs and beckons you to follow. If only you had a weapon, this would be the perfect opportunity to use it. But we don't. We've already made our choice. We can still grab it on the way out. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the suggestions for the time being. Just focus on keeping us alive. Right. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Subir a escada e seguir a pista.
You step onto the basement stairs, following the princess as she ascends. Pins and needles punctuate your every step, an uncomfortable and constant reminder of your mortality. Is this really worth it? At least it's a choice. That doesn't justify anything. A terrible choice is still terrible.
Make sure you keep up. We wouldn't want you to fall.
As if acting on instinct, you crane your neck and look behind you. There is nothing there. The princess reaches the top of the stairs and taps on the door. Her head twists back in your direction,
Credo.
watching you with dead eyes as the way out creaks open. Don't forget that your pristine blade is still on the other side. You can still make this right. You can still save everyone. You can still save yourself from becoming her tormented pet. There's no harm in us having a weapon. All it does is give us more options, and we are dangerously low on those right now. Have you considered that maybe you could operate the autonomic nervous system for a bit? Everyone is trying to manipulate us, and I can only do so many things at once to keep us alive. Heart? Liver? Your body seizes violently as you regain consciousness on the floor of the cabin. No, no, no! You're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to do it like this. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. I guess I have to do everything around here, don't I? Heart, lungs, liver.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me. It's better for you that you didn't.
Liver, nerves, heart.
Now we can get back to business. For starters, we won't need this where we're going.
The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. It vanishes into the inky black of the basement. Guess we're not stabbing her in the back. I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter, I'd rather not be sober.
And now you open the door.
There's nothing else for us to do.
Sair mundo afora.
The doorknob twists in your hand, revealing the forested path beyond the cabin. You bastard. Nerves. You've actually done it. You've actually doomed everyone. Nerves. Heart.
It's so beautiful. I can't wait to ruin it. But it's so cold, too. It's itching against my skin.
A princesa exausta despenca no chão.
Why is it so cold?
Você não teve chance de responder, nem terá. É hora de partir. A memória retorna.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Claro que está com medo. Afinal, esse será o seu fim. Mas não será o meu fim. Hã? Vai ficar tudo bem, confia em mim. Hã? Eu tô falando comigo mesmo? Não tô entendendo. Aproximar-se do espelho. Você se aproxima do espelho.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's calling us. And not in a good way.
As vozes parecem pequenas, distância à medida que se aproxima. Observar-se. O silêncio toma conta ao avançar. Eles se foram novamente. O espelho sempre os faz desaparecer. Mas você precisa ver o que há nele. Você cresceu. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Prosseguir até a cabana. Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Você é mesmo que era antes? Quando você mudou?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Tudo que você fala parece um enigma. Será que você pode me dar uma única resposta direta?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions.
Então toma, né?
The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
Qual é a sensação de mudar assim?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Quando tudo se terminar, você sabe o que vai querer fazer?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be. and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Ok. Você sabe que no final de tudo, quando tiver terminado, eu vou matá-la, certo? Quando eu volto, é como se uma parede invisível me cercasse. Porque não consigo fazer as mesmas coisas que eu já fiz antes?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Você tem sido mais gentil comigo do que qualquer outra pessoa que já encontrei. Obrigado.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
O que você quer que eu traga da próxima vez?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Você tem alguma opinião sobre esse aspecto?
This one is filled with sadness. A doll, abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart.
Vou colocar a cama um pouquinho mais embaixo aqui, ó. Pronto.
Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
Então não tem nenhuma preferência sobre como você gostaria de mudar ou crescer?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
Eu não quero machucá-la, mas receio que as coisas ficarão ainda cada vez piores quanto mais vezes eu voltar.
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Quantos aspectos ainda preciso trazer para você?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
Estou pronto para voltar.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Oh, interessante, interessante. Capítulo 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end
Você já parou pra pensar que o único motivo que ela tem pra destruir o mundo é porque ela foi trancada?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
O narrador fica muito bravo.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Deixa eu ver se tem alguma coisa diferente. Tem mais, eu sempre quis acabar com a monarquia. Eu não gosto de falar com o narrador. Vai pra cabana.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely
Entrar no porão.
The door to the basement creaks.
Continuar descendo.
You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done.
Dessa vez eu vou libertar ela direto.
Walk down the stairs
Vou nem
and lock
falar
eyes
nada.
with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. I am.
Ah, não tem a opção de não falar nada. Vou ver o que eu posso fazer.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Todos esses são todos eu, né? São tudo vozes minhas. O narrador deve ser voz minha, a voz do herói é voz minha, as outras vozes é voz minha. Eu sou uma louca, velho. Você é louco. Ainda fala da princesa.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Literalmente fragmentado.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Se não houver uma chave, você tem alguma outra ideia?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
Acho que sempre dá pra me cortar e tirá-las. Que horror!
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Voltar para a base da escadaria.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates
Ai, que
before raising
horrível!
her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Salvar a princesa.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
Que horror.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Aproximar-se da porta trancada.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair,
Que
your
isso?
body steps forward and raises the blade.
Eu tô falando esse narrador um bostinha, véi.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Avisá-la.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Mano. Resistir.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again.
Esse narrador, véi.
You feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
É, né? A gente, né? Mano, esse narrador é um safado, velho. Na moral.
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path
A donzela.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to slay her.
Estou começando de vu. Deixa eu ver. Seu cretino, dessa vez não escapa. Não caio mais nos seus truques. Boa.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're
Voz
going
do
to save our
apaixonado.
beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade, a situação atual tá... Ah, vamos pra cabana.
A warning before you go any further.
Não dá pra
She
pular.
will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the
Meu Deus
only
do
thing in
céu,
the
véi.
world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task.
Ir pra cabana.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Aproximar-se do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know that there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells
Meu
already.
Deus, velho. Ixi.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and
Meu
foul
Deus do céu.
imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you. My dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before. That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else, and you can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
Por que fez isso? Você me matou da última vez e doeu bastante. Por que fez isso? Eu não trouxe uma faca. Preciso cortá-la de novo? O que aconteceu depois que eu morri? Preciso perguntar. Por acaso você destruiu o mundo depois que me matou da última vez? Sinto muito pelo que aconteceu da última vez. O narrador que me enviou para matá-la tomou conta do meu corpo. Foi bastante injusto. Vou mandar isso aqui, o narrador vai ficar pé da vida.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect.
Nem.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
É, né? Eu não trouxe uma faca, preciso cortá-la de novo?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
O que aconteceu depois que eu morri?
You died, and now we're talking.
Vou perguntar por que ela fez isso. Que ela tinha me matado.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Não!
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Resgatar a
No,
princesa.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Caramba!
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
Na moral, véi.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
O que quer fazer? Vamos sair daqui, daí teremos nossas vidas inteiras pra descobrir qual será o próximo passo. Meu Deus, tô falando igual a voz do apaixonado, velho. Perguntar o que ela quer fazer.
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
Ih, F.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Eu quero que você me diga o que você quer. Você deve querer alguma coisa. Você quer destruir o mundo? Eu só quero ir embora. Podemos resolver o resto mais tarde.
That sounds perfect.
Ok.
The princess takes your
A
hand,
princesa me
the
dá
last
medo, véi.
hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair! We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Acha que consegue abri-la? Acho que podemos abri-la se tentarmos juntos. Abrir a porta por si mesmo. Acho que podemos abri-la se tentarmos juntos.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door.
O narrador do pé da vida, velho.
And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and... The blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
Você não fará isso.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you. You know, if her walking out that door is really going to end the world, can't we all just stay here? Seems like an easy win for everyone. That's not how this works. Yes, what he said. That's not how this works. Obviously, we have to leave with her. It's our happy ending.
Chega de interrupções, já tomei a minha decisão, vamos embora. Só precisamos de um ao outro para sermos felizes. Não quer ficar aqui e construir uma vida juntos? Ignorá-los.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. Our happy ending at last.
Eish.
We did it. What should we do now?
Já tá dando ruim já.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Mas você não teve chance de fazer tal casaco. Nem nunca terá. É hora de partir, a memória retorna.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Claro que está com medo. Esse será o seu fim, mas não será o meu fim. Vai ficar tudo bem, confia em mim. Já estivemos aqui antes e você sempre fica com medo.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
Esse não é o fim, seja lá o que tenha do outro lado, vai ser bom. É o fim pra você, mas não pra mim. Vejo você do outro lado, vai ficar tudo bem.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Você se aproxima do espelho. Observar. O silêncio toma conta ao avançar, eles se foram novamente. O espelho sempre o faz desaparecer, mas você precisa ver o que há nele. A decomposição você definhou. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Prosseguir para a cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Você não pode ser uma contradição. Contradição não existem.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Como aguenta ser uma contradição?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Não importa quantas vezes eu volte, pelo menos um de nós sempre machuca o outro. Isso não a afeta? Não a torna pior?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Pelo contrário, acabo gostando mais de você. Não sei o que isso diz sobre mim.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
O que você acha desse aspecto?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
Você sabe que no final de tudo, quando eu tiver terminado, eu vou matá-la, certo?
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
Você sabe o que acontece com os mundos que deixamos para trás?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Você já sabe o que vai querer fazer quando terminarmos?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Você continua sem ter preferência por nenhum aspecto específico?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Então não tem nenhuma preferência sobre como você gostaria de mudar ou crescer?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
Quantos aspectos eu preciso trazer para você?
We will know when we near our destination.
Estou pronto para voltar.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Que confuso, né?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Ela parece legal. É bizarro, parece que os dois estão amaldiçoados, tipo assim. Vou separar a comida e já volto, gente. Cuidado. Moti. Thank you. Como está o jogo? Interessante, assim, eu diria. Tudo bem então. Obrigado por me dizer o que fazer.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
Vou tentar pegar e ser direta pra ver o que acontece agora. Não, Moti. Não, Moti. Não, Moti.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the
O
world
ITD
without it.
2 horas de fiteiro
Oi,
substituiu esse.
Ti. Obrigada pelo sub de presente. O que eu acho?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Controlar o nervosismo e avançar.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
Ceifar a princesa.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
Caramba!
this is it, isn't it? I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
É claro que sim, ela morreu. Eu não tenho certeza, sinto que ela deve ter algum tipo de truque na manga. É claro que não foi fácil demais.
It's over. Don't get all worked up. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Você tem razão, ela morreu. Vamos sair daqui
Yes,
logo daqui.
exactly. It's over.
Óbvio que não, né,
With
velho?
your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Sair.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Que bela porcaria, eu quero sair. Eu meio que esperava um final melhor por salvar o mundo. Não. Que bela porcaria, eu quero sair.
What's
Esse aqui é
done
melhor.
is done. And there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Você não ouviu o narrador? Eu estou feliz. Nós estamos felizes. De jeito nenhum. Você tem alguma ideia de como sair daqui? É claro que estamos. Eu gosto daqui. Tá, aqui é como se fosse realmente eu fosse uma parte dele, né? Eu fosse uma voz. De jeito nenhum. Você tem alguma ideia de como sair daqui?
I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Ah, entendi.
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
Eu e, tipo, eles todos são a vozinha. Agora eu tô confusa. Será que usar o punhal não acabaria nos matando? Nós não acabaríamos mortos? Qualquer coisa para nos tirar desse inferno. Você tem razão. Eu não gostei dessa ideia. Eu vou ficar por aqui e não fazer nada, pelo menos por enquanto. Vou nessa aqui, vai.
What a relief.
Eu sempre morro mesmo.
I suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your mind. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ear. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Final bom, você conseguiu salvar todo mundo. Entendi.
You cannot go further astray.
Nem ferrando. Você não ouviu o narrador? Eu estou feliz, nós estamos felizes. Talvez eu não esteja feliz e eu não estou dizendo isso porque você foi a última pessoa com quem eu falei. Não é esse
Are we
aqui.
really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
Certo, talvez eu não esteja feliz.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. He's right. It's the only way. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade. Don't you dare.
Será que usar o punhal não acabaria nos matando? Nós não acabaríamos mortos?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
Eu espero que você tenha razão sobre isso. Eu ficaria muito chateado se morrêssemos de verdade.
If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
O narrador fica muito bravo. O espectro.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you
Prosseguir pra acabar.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do she won't be a problem.
Apático.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Aproximar-se do espelho.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There is. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
Aqui nunca vai acontecer
You
nada,
reach
né?
forward and rub your hand against. But there was a mirror a second, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it.
Próxima vez eu não vou olhar o
Clearly, it's
espelho.
not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the prince. the room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? A ghost! Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again.
Esperar pra ver o desenrolar dos fatos.
I see you brought that annoying knife again. So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Eu te matei, o que está fazendo desmorta? Você sabe por que voltou? Pare de se fazer de vítima, você me ameaçou da última vez. Sinto muito por ter te matado da última vez. Eu me arrependo do que fiz. Quer que eu morra? Quer que eu me mate só pra você saciar um desejo sórdido de vingança? Saiba que eu já me matei antes e não seria difícil repetir o ato. Caramba! Sinto muito, o que eu posso fazer para me redimir? Quem queria te ver morta me enganou. E o inimigo do meu inimigo é meu amigo. Vamos nos aliar. O que você quer de mim? Se eu soubesse que acabaria tendo de falar com você de novo, não teria te ceifado. Eu também morri e não estou flutuando com você. O que aconteceu? Por que sou diferente? Por que você é diferente? Você está morta ou quase morta? O que poderia fazer para me machucar? Quando eu te matar, a cabana mudou de lugar. Ou algo assim, enfim, não estava mais na mata. O tempo perdeu sentido e eu tive de me matar para escapar. Nossa, que tanto de coisa. Então devo dizer por que me enviaram para te matar. Você ia acabar com o mundo. Disseram que você ia acabar com o mundo. Bom, agora é evidente que não adianta te ceifar. O que você quer? Equipe, estou sem ideias, sugestões. Se você está morta, então não me resta muito a fazer, certo? Acho que vou embora, deixando por não ceifar a princesa. Vou me aliar a ela, cadê?
Okay. I didn't want to be open to the idea, but there's no denying it now. You've clearly been here before. Oh. What tipped you off? Was it the corpse? Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that nobody tricked you. I've done nothing but give you wholly accurate information, and I'm sure whatever version of me you met in whatever other world you came from gave you accurate information as well.
The enemy of my enemy.
The princess circles you again, her icy fingertips trailing up your spine, sending shivers rippling across your flesh.
I don't want enemies. I don't want to fight. I just want to go home. Is that really so much to ask?
And just where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. but I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Se você consegue atravessar paredes, não consegue sair sozinha? Eu também morri e não estou flutuando. Vou mandar essa.
You don't look dead, killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
After all, you own me.
Credo.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with
Interessante.
him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Seria só por um tempo, certo? Você iria embora assim que saímos da cabana? Antes de dar o meu aval, precisamos conversar sobre o que acontece depois que você sair daqui. Disseram que se acabar com o mundo. Ótima ideia, vá em frente. Deixar-se possuir pela princesa agora.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across. You collapse to the floor, and everything goes dark.
Come on, you've got to get up.
I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So, it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor, are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass,
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you. More important.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make things right.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Não consigo, tem barulho demais. Sair do porão, ceifar a princesa. Hoje dá vontade de testar tudo, né? Sair do porão.
Your legs, weary with the weight of the princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Wait, if she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world. Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world. I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn?
Aí morre os dois, né?
Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
Not at all. I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
Trabalhar adiante.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Abri a porta.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose. But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
Okay, I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Você sente uma leveza no tórax, enquanto um par de olhos emerge do corpo e olha pra você.
Anna, you actually freed me, didn't we? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, killer.
Dimension.
I think this is where I meant to be.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Aproximar-se do espelho.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Ignore him. You have to look.
As vozes parecem pequenas, distantes à medida que se aproximam. Você se destrinchou. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Isso foi uma pergunta retórica? Você sabe? Quer me contar?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Tem árvores e estrelas, e tem pessoas, eu acho. Pelo menos é pra ter.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Você acha que alguma coisa é real lá fora? Acha que nós somos reais?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Você tem opiniões sobre esse aspecto?
This one is vaporous. She is a dream of a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for a yearning heart. Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew.
Você sabe o que vai acontecer quando você despertar?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Quando você me manda de volta, não fico sozinho. Tem umas vozes que falam comigo. Algumas são eu, mas umas delas é outra coisa. Eu o chamo de narrador e ele quer que eu mate você. Você tem um narrador? Os aspectos tinham um?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Não sei porquê, mas tenho certeza disso. Sim, não sei o que vou fazer quando encontrá-lo. Sim. E quando eu encontrá-lo, nós finalmente teremos respostas. Sim, e quando eu encontrá-lo, vou matá-lo. Caramba! Sim, mas você vai guardar essa informação para si. Guardar a informação para si.
It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know as mine.
Quantos aspectos ainda preciso trazer para você?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Mais um? Se essa é a última vez, tem alguma coisa que você gostaria que eu trouxesse?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Se essa é a última etapa que falta para completá-la, então eu vou voltar. Então eu não vou voltar, vou ficar aqui.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
Esperar.
I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
F, acho que o jogo vai fechar, hein? Hello? Hello? F.